Hey everyone, I'm Tim Holtz here at CHA. I want to show you the new Distress Minis, really exciting. So these are little 1x1 mini distress pads, so you can see it's just a smaller version of the larger distress pad. Some cool features of this little mini pad: it has raised felt, so that's the same felt and the same ink that's in a large distress pad, as well as a stackable feature, so these will lock together. So if you're going to store the minis, you can stack them up and it's really easy to store them. So what I'm going to show you is the Distress Minis. They're sold in a set of 4, so you get 4 in there and you can pick all of your colors. Now eventually throughout the year we will release all 48 colors, but right now we're only launching 12 at a time, so 3 sets of 4. We're also introducing some mini tools, a mini blending tool. Now this is the same blending foam as the larger tool, but it's a smaller profile and it also has that circular foam, which is very cool. And you can see in there that it does come with those foams, and we also sell the foam refills, which is cool. So here's how this is going to work, and this is really the benefit or the features of working with these little minis. If you're just a regular distress inker and that's really all you like to use distress for, this mini is going to allow you to go ahead and tap that right on there and in a circular motion apply that. And you'll see that that mini blending tool really gives you much more control if you just like to apply a little bit of ink. In other words, if you haven't crossed over to the dark side like I have using a lot of distress. Really nice to go around photos, even die cuts or anything like that, smaller things you can use the mini blending tool for. One of my favorite features though of the blending tool is if you're going to work with stencils. So if you're going to take something like a layering stencil, let me flip that over. I can work with multiple colors of distress. So I'll just take my minis. It's another thing I really like about those. If I was going to do a large background, or I'm still going to do some mixed media projects, of course I'd work with my large distress pads. But if I want to work with small colors, or maybe you're going to take them to a class or a crop, having these minis really convenient. But the mini blending tool now allows me to put this ink on in a pouncing motion. Because it has that circular foam, what's nice is the foam is cut slightly larger than the tool. So when I press down on it, it curls around the base of that tool. So that's going to eliminate those lines that you would normally get with your blending tool. So I can pounce this. I can still go in a circular motion if I want, but I like the ability to go into all these different shades of color. Now remember, the blending tool is not going to contaminate your distress pads because it's only going to deliver the ink. So you can go into multiple shades and tones with the same tool. So let me just move this just a little dark with some black soot, and then I can go right back to those lighter colors. And what's nice about using the blending tool in this little pouncing motion is it's going to give you nice control as far as fading out the edges of your ink. This is what I like. So I'll show you here on the stencil. Look at that. Creates a really simple blended look. Yeah, with ease. Anyone can do that, which I like. All right, so some other things that you can do, of course, with this mini blending tool is if you like to work with paints, if you like to work with distress paint, you can use paints for this as well, because one of the key features about any of the blending foam, whether it's for the minis or the large, this foam is washable and reusable indefinitely. So if you use it with paint, even if the paint dries on there, you can still go in and wash it with soap and water if you're working with distress paint, because it doesn't have any filler. So some of the cool new features of working with the Distress Minis, of course the mini blending tool, whether you're using it around the edges of cards or projects or using it through a stencil.